2020 has been a rough year in the sports category. We've lost a lot of athletes during the past campaign. This player's passing, unfortunately, was kind of missed by the media, but for fans of the New York Rangers and the expansion 12 era, we remember him for being a rugged player, tremendous skill, and never gave up in his career despite continuous years in the AHL and minor pro. So we have to be talking about the pride of Jansen, Saskatchewan, the very talented and very underrated Ken Schinkel. Now, Kenneth Calvin Schinkel, born November 27th, like I said, in Jansen, 1932, played right wing and also was a coach following his career. He skated for the New York Rangers and Pittsburgh Penguins in the NHL. Now, after a junior career for a number of teams, including the St. Catharines TPs of the OHA, the Lindsay Kin Juniors of the OHA B team, he found himself in the AHL in 1954 with the Syracuse Warriors and also with the Springfield Indians of the QHL. 75, he played with the Pembroke Lumber Kings of the NOHA, but for 56, 57, 58, and 59, he put up dynamite numbers with the Springfield Indians. His best season was 59 when he had 85 points, 70 games, including 43 goals. Now, because he spent the first 6 years in the minors with the major organization, Springfield, he earned a reputation as a skilled two-way forward and penalty killer. In 59, again, he led the AHL in goals with 43, and he earned a place in the league's second All-Star team. These rights were eventually dealt to the New York Rangers of the AHL. At the time, some of the AHL teams had enough quality to do deals with other major leagues, including the NHL. Now, he played the 1960 season with the Rangers and split the 61 season between New York and Springfield, returning to the AHL just in time to be part of the Indians' second consecutive Calder Cup title before playing as a third liner with the Rangers in 62 and 63. By 64, he was back in the minors, however, and spent the next 4 years starring for the Rangers farm team, the AHL Baltimore Clippers. Now, while playing with future Hall of Famers Jean Bertel and Doug Harvey, Schinkel led the Clippers in scoring 2 of those 4 seasons. Now, when the NHL doubled in size after the 67 season, Schinkel was drafted in the expansion tally by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, he was eventually named an alternate captain by the club, and he was an immediate impact player and noted penalty killer for the offensively thin Penguins. Now, he finished first or second in team scoring during the squad's first 3 campaigns and was named to play in the NHL All-Star Game in 68 and 69. Now, he was also named to the All-Star squad in 71 but did not play due to a broken arm. He played 6 seasons in all before retiring to become the team's head coach. Now, on April 11, 1970, Schinkel also made NHL history by scoring 3 goals for Pittsburgh in a Stanley Cup playoff game versus Oakland, which Pittsburgh won 5-2. Now, Schinkel retired as a Penguins career leader in games and points, of course, now surpassed by everybody from Mary Lemieux to other key players, and he ended with 127 goals and 198 assists for 325 points in 638 games. Now, his playing career abruptly ended on January 13th, 1973, when he was named to replace Red Kelly as head coach of the Penguins. Now, the Penguins did not make the playoffs that season and were 14-31-5 on February 6, 74, when Schinkel was replaced by Marc Beaulieu, who had been coaching the Penguins minor league system. Now, Schinkel was eventually reassigned to a front office position, where he remained until January 17, 76, when he was tabbed to replace Beaulieu. The team had been 15-23-5 under Beaulieu, but rallied for a 20-10-7 record when Schinkel coaching and made the playoffs. The Penguins were eliminated in the first round by the Maple Leafs, which was a regular thing at the time. Toronto would play the Penguins in the first round and be eliminated, despite John Pronovost and Pierre LaRouche and all the key players. Now, Schinkel led the Penguins to a 34-33-13 record in 77, his only full season as coach. The Penguins qualified in the playoffs but were again defeated in the first round by Toronto. Schinkel was eventually replaced by Johnny Wilson and returned to the front office for good. He held a variety of positions, including assistant GM and scouting director and overseeing the draft of the great Mary Lemieux in '84. He stayed with the Penguins through 1989, then followed Eddie Johnson, a former Pittsburgh head coach, to the Hartford Whalers, where he remained in the front office for the rest of his hockey career. Now, Schinkel coached the Penguins for 203 games with a record of 83, 92, and 28 for a 47.8% winning percentage. Now, Schinkel later retired to Florida, although he made appearances for Penguins alumni affairs. Again, he passed away November 20th, 2020 in Fort Myers, Florida. Now, we're talking about the top season with Pittsburgh. For me, 1970 was the top campaign. Besides that hat trick in the playoffs, he had 45 games in the regular season, including 20 goals. Now, AHL numbers, 519 points in 576 games, 222 goals, and 15 points in the playoffs. And again, for Pittsburgh in the playoffs, 7, 2, and 9. And anyway, Pittsburgh 4 seasons, 74, 73, 74, 76, and 77. Again, pretty well a 500 record, but 2 third place in the North and a very competitive division in the mid-1970s. So actually, the reason why I'm doing this podcast too, the third card that I ever got in my first OPG hockey pack was a Ken Schinkel. So, and what was number 1 and what was number 2, you're probably wondering. It was Tony Esposito in his Chicago uniform, his unofficial rookie card, and Ron Stewart. So, and I've already done podcasts on Ron Stewart, and Espo as well is going to be coming up. So that's a legend of Ken Schinkel. If you like what we're doing here, if you're a Pens fan, give us a like, comment, or subscribe. All comments are more than appreciated, and requests are always considered from you, the learned and very intelligent fans, for listening to this podcast. Have a good day. Bye.